So I'm just... Whoa, what is going on here? NYFD on the scene. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Monday morning, I'm going to the gym today because last night was Game of Thrones and I need to catch up by watching it on the Stairmaster. Look at the reflection in these glasses. Look at, you can see my iPhone. Done gymming. Great episode of Game of Thrones. Home, shower, dress, work. Go. I slept 9 hours last night. That was coming off of a 48-hour no sleep bender. I feel like a completely different person today. It's like I'm on drugs. Great way to start the week. Today's Monday. So I wanted to spend today's vlog doing another behind the scenes, and that's where I like break down an old movie I had made and tell the stories about like how it came to be and what happened behind it. But I was looking through my archives here, trying to find some footage to support the behind the scenes that I wanted to do today. And I found something that's really awesome. It stars a very drunk Candace, my now wife, who 10 years ago was just some babe I was on a hot date with. And it's at like 4 in the morning, and we were leaving a bar or something, I don't remember. What had happened was my older brother Van's bike had been stolen a few days earlier. We were in the same neighborhood, which is Alphabet City. I saw these like 4 dudes leaning up against the wall, hanging out, and they had Van's bike. So I gave Candace my camera, I gave her my backpack, and I remember saying to her, whatever happens, do not try to help me. Just call the police if the shit goes down. What happened, and she didn't do a very good job of capturing this because she was busy filming herself, what happened is I just rolled up on these 4 guys, and they're like big thugs, and I was like a 24-year-old, and I just like, I remember like being like, blind confidence, Casey. Overwhelm them with confidence. Make these 4 dudes fear you. And I just like rolled up, fists clenched, and like stared into their eyes, like glaring eye contact. And then I grabbed the bike, put it on my shoulder, never broke eye contact, and walked away. Okay, here's the video.
Casey thinks that he saw Van's bike got stolen last night, or he thinks he sees it. Are you fucking kidding me? He's got it.
Anybody following me? Candace?
Whose bike is that?
Van's.
How do you know it's his?
I got the license plate.
Yep, that's Van's bike.
Alright, back to behind the scenes, which I'm totally pumped to do today. Today's gonna be an awesome behind the scenes because these are kind of stories I've never told before. This behind the scenes is gonna be about a campaign I did, which was four separate videos I did for Mercedes-Benz. And this was, I wanna say like 2013. Okay, let me just put a better lens on there. The Mercedes-Benz CLA project was a advertising campaign about this car, which is the Mercedes-Benz CLA. I got this campaign with them and it was to make 4 videos. So there was never any storyboards, any script, any outlines, there was nothing specific. It was all kept incredibly broad, which was a really big deal for me, especially then, because I didn't have the audience then that I have now. This was by far the biggest dollar ad campaign I'd ever done. It was enough money to enable us to do whatever we wanted to do. Like, no matter how crazy the idea, we would have the budget for it. The first part, this video here. This was like a little background, why I like Mercedes-Benz. I happened to drive a Mercedes at the time I did this campaign, my history with them. Cool little video, shot most of it here in the studio, and it ended on a really kick-ass note, which was them dropping off a prototype CLA. So we were like the first people to have one. Okay, whatever. Part 2, Oscar and I, Oscar's like my best friend, he's also like a producer and a filmmaker, so Oscar and I traveled to Germany, and all we brought with us was like skateboards and a couple cameras. And we went to the Mercedes-Benz Museum, and we went to like their car factory, and we had to drive all kinds of like crazy souped up prototypes. Okay, part 3. This is by far my favorite video of the 4-video campaign. It's playing here. The narrative of this video goes like this. It shows us starting to do the shoot in New York City with this beautiful girl, and then it starts to pour out. So we shift gears and we fly to the Bonneville Salt Flats in New Mexico, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada. That's not how it went down. What actually happened, this is where it gets fun, is we went to the Bonneville Salt Flats first. And we had this whole enormous shoot scheduled and organized for out there. We had a helicopter, an airplane, 4 stunt cars, we had stunt drivers, but it was all predicated on the fact that we had a beautiful, functioning Mercedes-Benz CLA to shoot. So we went out the night before the shoot to do some testing, and I wrecked the car. Know that this was like a handmade prototype that was just made to be like pushed onto showroom floors wearing white gloves. It was not even really meant to be driven. We had to cancel the entire shoot the next day. And we basically left with what was like a garbage pile of footage. And we looked at that footage and we're like, we don't have a movie, there's not enough here. So that was when I was like, okay, we need to do another shoot. And Mercedes was super, super cool. They got us another car. And then we did the second part of the shoot in New York City. They wanted something authentic and real, and something that felt true, not manufactured. So the only way I could guarantee that was to constantly put us in harm's way where things would definitely go wrong. And then whatever the outcome of that was would be our video. And that was sort of the thesis behind the campaign and everything else I did. Oscar, today I'm doing behind the scenes of the CLA project.
All right.
What detail did I leave out?
Did you talk about what happened to the fucking car?
I mean, I talked about how we broke the car, yeah, in the Salt Flats.
The car was destroyed on my birthday. Biggest production nightmare I've ever had to deal with. I was trying to have fun, and everything that we'd planned out went to shit immediately because Casey destroyed the car, and it was him. It wasn't anybody else. Don't let him say anything.
I will say that Oscar, I completely wrecked the car, and Oscar had to deal with all the repercussions. He was doing all the hard work, and all I was doing was screwing it up.
And it was my birthday.
It was your birthday. Later. That video turned out being my favorite. It was the most accidental, which made it the most real, which made it just amazing. Video 4 was the actual commercial. It's 1 minute long, so it could actually go on TV, and you can click and watch it here. I worked with my friend Gabe, who's like a really smart writer. And I was like, Gabe, I just want there to be like a single message here to encapsulate all of the ethos behind this entire project that we did, which I think is in line with the ethos behind the actual car that Mercedes is trying to sell. Sometimes in life, you just have to say, fuck it. And we literally made the commercial that says, sometimes in life, you just have to say, fuck it. And now I knew that couldn't be shown on TV. I still showed it to Mercedes though. So we ended up saying, sometimes in life, you just have to say yes. which is probably even better because it's like more positive and people could misconstrue what fuck it actually means. That's it. Oh, wait, one more interesting tidbit. This literally hurts my being to admit this. So I'm gonna zoom in to make it even more serious. So for the last video, I knew it was gonna be more of like a crazy music video montage situation than like a real narrative. So the song was everything. Now, this was like 3 years ago, but I just learned about this like Australian girl rapper named Iggy Azalea. I wanted her to play the babe, who's like driving the car with me in the car behind it, and I wanted to use her song Work. Now, we happen to have like the same agent represents us or same agency or whatever, so we were able to get in touch with her, and she was totally down to do it for a fee that was completely reasonable. Is to hire her now, it'd be millions and millions and millions of dollars, but nobody knew who she was then. And Mercedes-Benz said no. They didn't think she was gonna be a big deal, and they thought that she might be a liability. Unbelievable. Anyways, okay. All right. That's my behind the scenes of the Mercedes-Benz CLA project. Links to all those movies below. Just quick disclaimer, Mercedes-Benz doesn't know that I made this behind the scenes or that I was disclosing this information on my YouTube channel, so none of this is endorsed. I don't think they'd be mad at me for saying any of this stuff, but I will say though that working with them was really super awesome. Okay, that's it.